Failed with minor repairs, repairs by a fully licensed vendor. Permit may be required. Engineer oversight, 3 site visits. Certification with owner liability in lieu of a load test. Load test still may be required by the AHJ.
Fire escape inspection summary video. This is Inspector Alan Toll. I'm a licensed architect in California and a certified fire escape inspector. I'm here at, this is a pre-load test inspection. It's a pass-fail inspection. We're looking for evidence that the fire escape is structurally sound and that it's painted. There is no lead paint that I see on this fire escape. In order to certify the fire escape, we have 3 options. We can load test any of the connections. We can repair or restore existing connections, or we can provide an opinion affidavit letter stating that, to the best of our opinion, knowledge, and belief, this fire escape is safe and ready for its intended use. What we have is 5 balconies, and we have, as you can see, a fairly standard concrete. All these balconies are the same as far as the makeup of the concrete and the steel rails and the stair going down. The 4th and 3rd level have this added catwalk, which was recently, and balcony, which is recently added because of additional doors that were placed out the back. Now, in the interim, apparently they've redesigned the interior of the building, and they believe that this fire escape is no longer needed, and hoping that in the future that they can remove it. But in the meantime, it does need some certification, but it is in really, really good shape. I don't see any evidence of internal rusting. It is painted. If anything, some spot painting, but in very few instances. There are some of these railings could probably be cleaned off. There's pigeon droppings along some of these rails, but this structural system looks to be relatively constructed relatively recently, and I'll show you the connections. They're fairly structural connections and brackets I'll show you below. All this is galvanized, so it is in good order. No rust that I see, maybe a hair surface rust, but nothing of any consequence. A lot of these doors that are coming out are locked because, as I said, they have interior. Apparently they have 2 new stairs interior that meet their egress requirements. So, we're not addressing that today, but it is something to keep on our report. It is all original hardware, as you can see, all square head bolts. However, everything is solid, no rust that I see. The ladder is in good order, it's punched through. So, generally, again, I don't see any work at all that will need to be done, unless you want to, if we do an opinion affidavit letter, then we need to hold the city and fire escape engineers harmless, and the owner will take responsibility. So, I'm going to move on. So the stairs, all the railings, in good order. They are pipe rails, but I don't see any rust on the inside. Again, the connections are solid. The railing is a little low, but that won't, pre-existing non-conforming condition. All the treads are riveted to the side, but there's no occurrence of any rust going internal. These connections on top, these clips appear solid, and I don't see any. Start to climb down here. I don't see, again, anything that indicates any distress in these connections. I mean, it is all painted. There's some areas that maybe are lacking, but that is, it's a galvanized system, so, and the concrete platforms are in good order. I don't see much incidence of any distress or spalling. You can see, back here, it's again painted, all in good order. Coming down to from the top to the 4th platform. And you can see that what we have here. So this, the railings were removed here, and this whole new catwalk system was added. All galvanized, all in good order. Railings good and solid. Sure, it's structurally designed recently, so these are all in good shape. We have the nice 4-inch spacing on the pickets. You can see the system goes down to the far side. And again, as you can see, they've taken out, this one's completely taken out, so there's no egress required out of there. And again, nothing that I see that indicates any distress. You can see why they added these. So I don't know what the interior is like for these doors, but that's why this was constructed. They're coming back. You can see the underside of the concrete looks in really good shape. Really no, just if they want to paint it for maintenance, but there's no paint really that I see that would be required. I'm going to step down. Let's start repeating ourselves, but as you go down, again, there's nothing indicating any internal rust here that I see. A little bit of cracking here, maybe starting to be an issue, but it's still got plenty to bear on there. So if we step down, you can see again this whole system. Now I wanted to show you. So this is the connection back to the building. And what it is you have this bracket that goes back, this heavily bolted angle here, and I believe it's welded, but there's also a bolt that goes through the connection to that bracket. Same thing up top there. So again, no incidents of rust, all galvanized, all in good order. Don't see any issues with that at all. Coming down to the third from the top platform, and the same condition here, same condition here. This railing, you can see a little more incidents of pigeon dropping, so yeah, just clean that off. It's much more prevalent down here. But again, these really aren't even supposed to be accessed. I know they're trying to keep people off them, but really good shape. No pitching or listing, or good and solid construction. And then coming down again to the next level, you can see this. Even though this is welded, we can't certify any welded connections, but that's a relatively new connection. And then coming down to the second platform, or I take that back. This is the bottom platform that we're heading to. So you can see this is in good order. If anything, we could clean this out, caulk it, prevent any future occurrence of any problems. These connections a little bit, maybe, I might want to take a look at that one. It's starting to be a little crack that's happening in there, but mostly I think if we seal that up, if we depending on the direction that they want to, I take it back. This is coming down to the second from the top, from the bottom. So you can see now we're back to the standard platform, same conditions. So they keep this door locked from the inside, so that's why but the egress is, that's why I'd asked about the egress inside, because if it was a required egress, it wouldn't need to be locked. So coming down to the bottom, I really don't have any additional items to report until we get to the ladder. Coming down, everything feels good and solid. So I'm just going to comment on the ladder. I didn't attempt to drop the ladder. according to the building manager, Mazzy had inspected it about 2 years ago. So I would suggest that they come out again, service the ladder. Everything looks pretty good, but again, you know, the chain is in good order, no rust that I see. There is a, you know, there'd probably, if it was to be kept for a while, I would almost recommend more of a cage here to guide the weight in. But you know, toe balanced ladder. Maybe a little bit of paint could be used on. This is probably the only place I notice that there's any paint that might be needed. So I don't know, it's got a little cant to it, but we have Mazzy. If they come out and they service the ladder and give us the okay, that would be fine. Pulleys appear good in order, and everything galvanized. Concrete is in good order. Really just a little bit of, you can see a little bit of cracking occurring right there, but nothing egregious, nothing that I see distressed. So that's going to conclude. I'm going to take a look up on the roof a little bit, just do a little look around, but that's going to conclude my inspection of this fire escape system at 875 Howard Street. If you have any questions, fire escape engineers, 866-649-0333. Fire escape inspection summary video. This is Alan Toll, Inspector Alan Toll. I just finished my inspection at 875 Howard Street in San Francisco. Fire escape is in good order, no life safety. I would recommend that the ladder be serviced. Hasn't been serviced for a couple of years. Mazzy did it previously. Catwalk is in good order. It is painted. It appears to be structurally sound. Original hardware. If you have any questions, 866-649-0333.
Load test still may be required by the AHJ. Failed with minor repairs. Repairs by a fully licensed vendor. Permit may be required. Engineer oversight, 3 site visits. Certification with owner liability in lieu of a load test. Fire escape issues. Photos represent what the violations are, not where they are or how many exist. Pass-fail inspection, not technical repair report.